friend, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, was gorgeous face, Sleepy with 2 3s. How are you, Sleepy?
Hello, I'm good. Yeah, excited to pick up a new one, or another one, and a new one because both of these are newer teams. So really excited to see what they have in store for us this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And joining us yet again is Mr. Wookie. Thank you for jumping in this cast with us. Are you excited about this matchup? I am.
Oh, thanks for having me, Noman. Of course, I'm excited for this. These are two teams that have very little history here, so like everything we're about to see is new to us. I don't really have any familiarity with either players on either team, so I'm really excited to see what's in store for us.
Yeah, I am too. So let's get the setup. Let's get the lay of the land for everybody here, and then we'll jump in, get our teams ready, get our casting setup ready, and jump right back into the action. So we're going to cover the bans really fast. On the home team, WCO banning Cargo. And then on the away side, the ban is Subway. So either of those now these are new teams, so of course we don't have a ton of historical data, but either of those maps ringing any bells for anybody, Sleepy?
No, to me, nothing. I mean, our amount of data for either of these teams is very, very limited. Them being new, I could just assume that they could be just banning based off of issues with the maps themselves. Yeah, I mean, even the data that I do have isn't very, it's inconclusive.
Yeah, absolutely. Wookie, any thoughts?
Yeah, like Sleepy hinted at, the sample pool is too small to really know. I have a feeling that both teams are more or less banning, to get this out of the way because maybe they're not too good at these maps, or maybe they just are not in the mood for a nighttime map like Subway. Tanker is already banned, as you know, right now it's just a global ban, so one less night map in the pool to choose from. And then, of course, Cargo, you kind of got like these weird anomalies with the network going on right now. So maybe both teams just aren't, I don't know, just feeling these close range maps today.
Yeah, I will say West Coast Riders does have more playtime under their belt, at least in official league matches. They have 5 completed matches so far. It looks like they've been taking advantage of the challenge rules within the VRML and been getting those extra matches in. So they were losing at the beginning, but slowly but surely they've been improving and have been able to pull out some wins in their history. So that's good to see. So we'll see if it's enough, if they have enough experience to beat out their West Coast rivals, the West Coast Originals, with 3 West Coast casters on a West Coast Friday night. Did we say we're on the West Coast yet?
I think you said it plenty of times there, Mr. Sleepy. Yeah, these are 2 West Coast oriented teams, or at least they love the West Coast, and let's be serious, who doesn't? But we do have our map choice already dialed in. It is going to be Quarantine for map 1, and that's what we're going to be diving into once the teams are in the lobby, readied up and ready to go. So don't go anywhere. If you're bummed that the first cast went so quickly, again, congratulations to Animal House on that win. But that map series was very quick, 26 minutes in total for that cast. And that left us wanting more. So we were very excited to be able to bring you this one. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get set up. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with Friday Night Fights Round 2 on the VR Master League. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Apologies for that bit of an extended delay there, but a bit of a tech issue on the side of the West Coast Riders. But as you can see, they've filled in with a league veteran, Mr. L. Vegas, and they are ready to go. 5 minutes on the clock for round 1, and we are off here. The objective is the gas station garage, as you can see there. West Coast Originals getting that quick spawn on the east side. Identity Crisis and Code Meister both showing up here inside of the storage area behind Hospital, creeping their way up. You see Lord Vissel there sprinting across mid-map, getting his way underneath, and he finds the shots early on to Ninja Monkey. Excuse me, on Center Burning.
Yeah, great early start there for West Coast Originals here. Man, it's going to be really tough to keep calling these teams correctly with both of them having the first 2 words being the same. But yeah, Lord Visceral able to get that down, but not able to confirm it. There's a nice headshot from Nomad to return the favor, and things now at 1-1. And that res comes out.
Ooh. It's back and forth. We're getting the action back and forth here. Nomad in a bit of a little firefight here with Codemeister in the south. Nomad does have the call-outs in, but now we've got to check back in as one shot kills Nabs A-bar as well in the center. El Vegas, meanwhile, scooping up the refrag there, but trading out in the end and making it a 2v3.5. Vegas is revivable here.
Yeah, Vegas revivable. I'm surprised Lord Visceral actually able to get that trade because he was running around that corner completely blind to the fact that Vegas was there. So good on him for still being able to get that down in Vegas, though again, he will be able to get res, though he might not, because one shot, I believe, is the one who rezzed the original guy who was down in the 2% building. So it could be that he cannot be resed right now unless he goes for Vegas's. And here comes Rigo around the corner. Is he going to get the shots on it? Yes, he will. One shot kills is now down, but no confirmation shots. Rigo, I'm not really sure how that was pronounced. You'll have to inform me, but oh, there we go, cleaning up his kill.
Yeah, we're going to go with Rigo getting that confirmation. Vegas should be the next confirm here as he's likely still doing call-outs. Now it's up to Codemeister here in the south, still dealing with this Nomad defender. Not much of a Nomad if he's staying in one place. Haha, that is a topical joke about the content of his name. Codemeister going down there to the shots, leaving just one alive. Rigo, the man with the plan in the center burning area. I couldn't find a rhyme for it in time. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, his name could have been Dan, I guess.
Nah, it's too much work. It's too much work, Sleepy. Rigo, hearing Vegas's callouts, he's like, did I not confirm you just now?
Well, it could have been confusing because they were downed essentially right on top of each other, so very easy for him to have thought he downed both of them, or one of them wasn't already dead. Because, I mean, Vegas was already down. The body was on the ground and probably quiet when Rigo first approached, so the likelihood of him wanting to tap that target again would be pretty unlikely. But now he's gone ahead, he's cleaned that up after hearing Vegas call out, and he's on the move. He is on the move. 1v2, minute 30 left, so he's got time. He's not far away. He could definitely make this rotation and get in there, but he's got a split defense, and that's going to be kind of hard to counter as a single approach. So he's best to probably continue pushing west and to just try and come at it from the one side and kind of line those defenders up rather than have them spread from 2 angles shooting on you.
Yeah, I think his biggest problem outside of the timer ticking down, which he just checked and found out, is going to be this 12x. He's got that 12x scope on this rifle, and that's going to make it pretty challenging in the close engagements. I mean, if you've dialed it in, if you're a player that's used to playing with a 12x scope, you kind of dialed in what that hipfire would look like. So maybe he's got a plan for this, but the timer is ticking down. 40 seconds left. His watch beep should be coming here in just a few seconds, letting him know that he has got to put the hustle in his bustle.
Really, if he could just clear Stoney out, he could possibly get a cap off without Nomad seeing.
No, Nomad is out. Nomad is roaming. As his name goes and the shot's during out, he spots one, but he doesn't find Nomad. who cinches the round there for West Coast Riders, and they go up 1-0 here in the intro to the series.
Yeah, they didn't have much time left on the clock there, but interested to hear what our analyst has to think. Wookie, what are your thoughts there on that first round?
You know, pardon me. I love it when teams group up effectively. I thought that was a really interesting strategy to have 3, maybe 4 members in that center burning, well, ex-burning building. And it seemed to work out for them. I mean, the objective was gas station, just to be clear. So to see so many defenders, you know, hobbled up in that center building was kind of interesting, and I'm surprised that it played out as well as it did.
Either way, we're getting a heck of a matchup as they trade blows all the way down to the last 2 people. And now we're getting ready already. No time wasted there in the tent. We're already getting into round number 2 as these teams are itching to go. 5 minutes on the clock in this round. We're again on quarantine. West Coast Originals now on defense with West Coast Riders on offense.
Yeah, they've got mirrored spawns, so we'll see how the Riders approach this same quick spawn objective. Looks like they are opting for the aggressive push, and we'll see how this pays off. So you'll notice the Originals didn't take the hospital building as one of their spots. Ninja Monkey on an absolute tear, finding 2 right out the gate, but A-Bar quickly shutting that down from center burning. But a 2v1 trade is exactly what you want to see when you're on offense.
The best thing about that Monkey pick was that he opened up the side, but A-Bar and Identity Crisis now just shutting it down as the West Coast Riders push out through that doorway. Now Stoney's going to get picked, leaving nothing but 1-shot kills here. At first, I was really liking this aggressive space together squad push coming out from West Coast Riders, but they have just been able to turn this around from the West Coast Original side on the defense. That A-Bar position being absolutely critical to stopping the push out of that South Hospital.
Yeah, that aggressive push. I mean, what's so interesting about being an aggressive team is a lot of it is map knowledge, right? It is understanding where your defenders can get to, how quickly they can get there, what angles can they watch. You know, so you kind of have to be aware. And when you're watching newer teams, there it is. 1-shot kills going down to a nice spot by A-Bar there in center burning. But to finish my thought, you know, when you're going up against, or when you are a new team and you're going up against any team, doesn't matter whether they're new or old, you don't quite have that rhythm. You know, you're not dialed in to where enemies might be. And you see, you know, in the early stages of an aggressive team, that exact thing happening. But Wookie, what was your take on that quick round?
I mean, I was really impressed with that initial push out the gate by West Coast Riders from the southeast. I mean, it was looking pretty promising at first, and then they just got shut down by that defender and burning building, and then the remaining defenders just kind of backing up and supporting each other, just working together to take out that push. It was just nice work by West Coast Riders. Man, I mean, there's only so much you could do, especially because there is that reservist, right? They have El Vegas playing for them, so kind of interested to see how that will ultimately play out for them. But
so far, not been like really heavily weighted, right? I mean, he's not been. Only thing he's really has been able to do is to get like a single pick trade and provide a little bit of intel for the team. So far, he's not been like a gangbuster. He was taken out there in that last round before even able to take his first shot, I think.
Yeah, we don't have to wait too long to find out what the effect of a veteran like Vegas on this match is, because we're getting ourselves into the 3rd round. The objective shifts just 50 feet or so north on the street. We're now in the Volk Garage objective, as you can see there on the left-hand side of your screen. West Coast Riders on the defense. And now we've got the long crater spawn there by the West Coast Originals. You can see them there. We'll see what this setup looks like. Now, I'm going to take it to the overhead map here for just a minute before the action pops off. See what the setup looks like. This is always interesting to me, how a team sets up, and I like this defensive position.
Yeah, good surrounding of the objective. They've got varying elevations with differing look angles, both with early peaks. Vegas watching the north here, you can see. And actually, he might come into some contact soon as Lord Visceral and Rigo reach the cargo container on the east side of the north rooftop. Vegas going to be rotating around. He might get spotted here by Visceral with this peak on the ridge top. There he is. He's in motion. Lord Visceral taking the shots, but Vegas takes a quick duck.
They've
Lord Visceral
ID'd him
call
now.
out to his teammate.
He is in trouble. He'd given the call out that the north is clear, but he is quickly learning the error of his ways, as now he's going to have to deal with Rigo. He's not going to be prepared for him on this corner, I don't think. No, he is. The headshot coming out from Vegas will land 1 kill for the West Coast Riders. The grenade toss ID'd by Visceral. Well done.
Yeah, very good play there. Able to identify the landing of something. He didn't even take the chance. Whatever it was, he's like, Nice little grenade check from him as well. A flash just to keep off any defenders. Ninja Monkey, however, on the opposite side of the map, able to pick one off there in the middle, and a return from A-Bar.
A-Bar is just in the right position at the right time. 3 rounds in a row. He's been really positioning himself well to get those refrags. He has just been non-stop.
If he sneaks by Stoney's look, he has gotten a hole in the defense that he's just managed to walk right through. He's checking the code here. This could be a cap attempt from West Coast Originals by A-Bar, because he has got the stealth. He's already snuck past Nomad. Oh!
Wow, what a fantastic grenade there to deny exactly that situation. 1-shot kills, meanwhile, from the top of the Northwest building finds 2. And that will wrap things up for the Riders as they march into their second point here, making it a 2-1.
Yeah, that push coming in from the south by West Coast Riders, or sorry, Originals, was, shaping up to be a good push, especially with that potential breach in the defense. But man, that grenade, I mean, someone must have radioed in that guy's position, because that grenade was on a point. And then you had that north push that got ultimately shut down by El Vegas. West Coast Originals having difficulty landing those shots on El Vegas. And Vegas, being a reservist and having so many matches under his belt, knew exactly how to respond to that situation, catching Originals off guard on their northern push. So yeah, altogether, West Coast Riders are shaping up to be putting up a huge fight against West Coast Originals. But we kind of expected that, right? They have more rounds under their belts.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how this plays out. Anything's possible in this bracket.
And chat seems to agree. I see some folks saying that West Coast Riders would be in the lead even without El Vegas reserving for them. But if El Vegas was the only person available to reserve at the time, maybe he came to an agreement with the team saying, I'm not going to go for being a Rambo and getting all your kills for you or something like that. Who knows? It is what it is. But so far, he's only been able to get two kills, only 1 in that last round. So again, not holding the team, not running the team for him. Rigo going to find 1 off the start on a Ninja Monkey there in the center. Quick flash out of the middle. The middle garage.
Money truck.
A-Bar is IDing these crosses here in the Northeast. He's taken shots out early. Rigo able to capitalize on some of those call-outs. It sounds like now Codemeister is going to be dealing with one in the South as well.
Nope.
Action's popping off nice and early.
1 shot. He took a risk moving out of that undertaking, and there it is. The shots ring out. He's able to take A-Bar down, and that's going to really help his central push out into the middle. Parking garage. Lord Visceral, though, on the backside down south, going to be able to pick up 1 onto Nomad. And West Coast Originals looking strong here on this defensive round as they're up in a 4-3 scenario.
1-shot kills. Hearing those shots. Finding the pick through that window. A fantastic look by him. It's just a down. The callouts will be coming out. Will there be a rotation from the defense to try to cover this hole? He's got to go confirm.
And good on him for doing that, because those shots in those windows are already hard enough to hit, because most times you can only see the defender's head. So there's absolutely no other option in most cases. He didn't get lucky, and he does go in to clean things up for himself. Now he's putting heavy fire on those upper decks in that far northwest building that overlooks the north push, probably trying to help his teammates move a little bit. And he's pushed his way out to oil tanks. He's going to take some fire from far out by Identity Crisis. Little return shots there. Codemeister getting a little frisky. Looks like he's pushing up on his left-hand side.
Oh, he's reloading. He could catch him reloading. This is the push.
Oh, he's down. Oh, he knows it's a bad idea. He's got the pistol out, but it's not going to be enough. Codemeister able to get the kill.
You hate to see it happen. That's the drawback of the 249, ladies and gentlemen. That is why it is a dangerous one. She's got a lot of rounds, but she's a cruel mistress when you run out.
Yeah, it sure is. Vegas now here on the upper deck of the tail section building, the west side of the map. He's looking for any far out flank defenders. Might be able to spot Identity Crisis out there, and he does. Identity Crisis up on that balcony, but hanging out in the wide open. Would have been able to have been spotted from the ground or from up there where Vegas is currently.
Yeah, Vegas in a great spot here in the final 2 minutes. Now with 2 members of the defense, one very far off objective. Rigo could very well have to rotate right into his sightlines, and that looks like exactly what's happening here. Will they coincide? Vegas does get gun back in hand. Does he spot Rigo yet? He does. That's going to make it a 2v1. The Riders have swung this in their favor. This was heavily in the Originals' favor up until these couple of picks from Vegas. Now Codemeister doing the exact thing he should be doing, which is making sure that this objective is Marsoc free.
Marsoc free for you and me. 1:30 left on the clock, so he's got still a ways to go in protecting this objective. And Vegas just happens to look down right as Codemeister approaches that corner. But Codemeister does manage to get out of there with his life. Vegas looking at him once again. The shots ring out. Codemeister realizing he's able to be shot at. He backs out into the same line of fire. Not sure I would have recommended that myself. He could have just pushed forward just a bit more and used that broken wall. But now Stoney going to be able to push up, get the flank kill onto him, and grab the round for West Coast Riders as they go 3-1 with a 2-point lead here on map 1. Wookie, take us through that round. What were your thoughts?
I mean, you know, one man can only do so much, but El Vegas proving himself yet again in one of these reservist matchups. And I mean, one-shot kills, though, doing a lot of great work there with that M249, like drawing attention from the defenders, spamming bullets, but in the end, ultimately, that came back to haunt him in a clutch moment where he had to reload, took too much time to reload, and he just got caught off guard. So, I mean, both teams here are just working, poking and prodding at each other in ways that I really didn't foresee. We had that nice south push come in, and it just, those defenders are just shutting them down, man. The West Coast Originals, their rookiness to the league kind of showing some of the holes on their approach. And, you know, it doesn't help that West Coast does have a very experienced reservist. But like I said, one man can only do so much. And there was some really strong plays and it pushes from West Coast Riders. There's too many West Coast names going on in my head right now. I'm struggling. Regardless, great push.
So the other thing I'm kind of curious about now is because we are seeing, you know, such a close game. I mean, even when we thought WCO was able to stop that push and they had that 4-2 advantage, 4-3 advantage in that mid round, West Coast Riders was able to swing that back. So, I mean, it's a good matchup, and it makes me wonder, I wonder if these teams, because they are both West Coast oriented teams, if they scrim or practice or, you know, lobby up with one another often.
Yeah, it could absolutely be a factor. You know, just understanding how one player moves can make a lot of difference in a matchup, right? If you can dial in one person's, you know, general location most of the time, it does give you quite a bit of info. Ninja Monkey here might be running into Identity Crisis, who does spot him, but isn't quick enough on the draw, and that is a pickup early for the defense here. Now it is a 5v4. The Originals largely opting for the eastern push. We're going to have to check in there in just a second, but it looks like Ninja Monkey looking to get aggressive here. Is he hearing Rigo? Rigo's definitely hearing this, but he's not hearing those bullets anymore as he goes down to Ninja Monkey's aggressive push into the center burning courtyard, and that's just going to leave the final 3 members of West Coast Originals who have to put something together to try to stay alive here in map 1.
Yeah, this is the clutch round for them. Lord Visceral leading this tip of the spear. He's just around the corner from Nomad, so he's going to need to be careful with this noise, but he's going to be completely unaware, of course, of where the defenders are Nomad probably having a better chance of realizing where Lord Visceral will be approaching from. And here it goes, Lord Visceral approaching the dumpster corner. Going to be a lot of eyes in this direction, as I'm sure they've put 2 and 2 together by now with that push from Ninja Monkey. That West Coast Originals now over in the east. That's the direction it is. Trade on the corner of the dumpster.
It's going to give Vegas information, though. He is peeking just up over that little truck there. Probably not quite, yeah, a very difficult angle to find here if you sort of zoom in.
It's going to be near impossible for them to break this approach at this point. There's going to need to be a lot of suppressive fire for them to be able to get anyone really across that opening. Nice long-range grenade, but
Ninja Monkey on the flank here, going to find A-Bar. Not ready for him in this flank. Ninja Monkey doing the work. Codemeister might put a stop to it. He does. 3-1.
Yeah, he puts a stop to that flank, but he's now got a lot more cut out for him. It's a 1v3, but he does have the time to work with. So maybe if Stoney gets a little too aggressive here and peeks out a little much, and Code can grab that, he can back down, swing back towards the mid, and start working his way west to approach, because he's not going to be able to basically exit from anywhere on this side without being susceptible to Vegas, or to one shot up there on the scaffolding in the far west.
Yeah, he's got a very tight line right here. But the approach to the objective, I mean, honestly, he could get very close. Almost dangerously close. But he would have to be absolutely silent. He'd have to have pad out early, make no noise while doing it, in order to even have a whiff of a cap available for him. But in the moment, and of course, not knowing what we know, it's a very difficult choice to make. And here, Vegas spots him out. The shots ring out. Codemeister does manage to dodge those bullets.
Looks like Code still got a frag on his chest. If I were him, I'd try and chuck that frag over towards that semi from behind that Humvee before I pushed out again. But looks like they brought one shot down from those scaffoldings. And that's going to be it. One shot with the range. He's going to find the pick on the Codemeister and clean it up for map number 1, 4-1 against the West Coast Originals. Very solid showing from both teams, in fact. Wookie, what's your thoughts on map 1?
Man, really bold, strong attempt by Originals, but West Coast Riders just holding it down, you know. They tried the poke and prod with limited success. I think the West Coast Riders just have a stronger defense laid in there, and you know, West Coast Originals are still newish to the league, so they're still figuring out the ins and outs of all the different defensive positions, and I think that's showing here. I think they did, the scoreline does not show how close it came to some of these rounds. I mean, yeah, the last round was like maybe a 3v1, but you know, Rigo doing a pretty good job holding in, staying alive. So I'm interested to see how map 2 will pan out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got to give the shout out to A-Bar as well. I mean, he was putting himself in the right positions at the right time. He's got that game sense definitely about him. So gonna be keeping an eye on him in these next 2 maps and going forward in the season as well. A very solid showing by them, but the Riders taking that first map, and now we're getting ourselves into map 2. If you have any guesses, drop them in the chat. I'll let you know here in just a couple of seconds what that map is, ladies and gentlemen. And time's up. You don't have, that's it. That's all the time you get. Suburbia is the map that we are going to for map 2. Wookie, any thoughts on what we're going to see here? I mean, this is a map that, you know, teams play very often when they're new to the you know, game and the league in general. So what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's night and day difference between quarantine, I can tell you that much. So there's so many close quarter combat situations that is not present in quarantine. So I'm really looking forward to see how the West Coast Riders play it up here against the Originals. I'm kind of hoping the Originals have something planned here in their back pocket. But of course, this was the West Coast Riders map pick. So in these situations, you know, they can tend to run away with the scoreline if you aren't careful. Home field advantage is best used and utilized, I should say, when you guys have a better fighting chance on that map. But if, you know, if for some reason the enemy team takes that away from you, it can be really tough heading into map 2 because it's their map pick.
Yeah, it is a mind game, you know, or I guess I should say like a psychological, you know, effect on you when you lose a map. You really want to make sure you're always in the headspace of, you know, it's just one map. We can take the next one. It has no bearing yet. It's not the series decider. We've still got room to grow, and that's something that I think teams need to, you know, get used to, so to speak, because it is a problem that, you know, a lot of teams still struggle with.
Yeah, and it's something we, especially you know, folks like myself and Newman fail to talk about a lot because we've been covering a lot of the teams that are more seasoned and haven't been covering a lot of these newer teams lately. You know, that is something that we need to remember to talk about, like to the newer teams. Like sometimes, and especially early on when you're getting those placement matches and etc., you're gonna get matched up with some teams that are just gonna blow you out of the water. But you just gotta take those losses on the chin and keep going. You know, you gotta keep gotta keep pushing. Just like West Coast Riders is pushing straight through on this spawn for that northwest objective with the white car. One shot kill is gonna be dumping down. LMG fire through this midsection. He's pointed right at the objective. Better be careful, he might just grab Stony, but no, Ninja Monkey and Slip Flippy. Trade out.
Waybar here again in this position. I mean, he's in the right spot. Stony,
Definitely somebody on lane 4.
lucky he has that shield as the shot's coming out in his direction there. They got a defender on the side here to deal with Rigo. Nomad's going to have to do a frag check or something, or maybe even Vegas would have to push out a little wide, but one shot kills get dangerously close to being spotted here. Doesn't. It looks like that sandbag is just tall enough to keep him obfuscated while he makes that cross, and Rigo does get spotted out, but not quite in time. The down coming out on the Nomad side should be a res. Confirm should come out here in just a second. There it is. He's going for the nade. Oh, a flash. Just making sure you're flashed before you're confirmed.
No more callouts before you die.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. Blind the guy doing the callouts. Nade's coming out early. Lord Viscera on the aggressive approach, but Vegas able to shut that down. One shot kills pushing out, finding A-Bar in lane 4. Now it's all up to Codemeister, the last defender. One shot kills going for the aggressive push here.
Going the wrong way. No man's on the
fence.
objective. He's got pad out, but it's not going to matter. One shot going to be able to trade with Codemeister on the backside of the house, and West Coast Riders still pick up their win, though Nomad is a bit disappointed there on the objective.
Just a little bit disappointed. I love to see teams bust out the shield, especially these newer teams, because I like to see what they concoct with their tactics. But funny enough, West Coast Riders just came in swinging. Didn't really need that shield. It wasn't fully utilized to the best of its ability there. But regardless, I mean, they just melted the defense on that objective.
Yeah, we went a little crazy with the scores there. Apologies, but the score now reflects correctly, and we are showing what actually happened. There's no negative points in this game. Yeah, no, it was a great series. That early aggression, I honestly thought that Riders were going to get themselves caught out. You know,
Yeah.
I easily saw that aggression extending too far and getting punished, but they really kept it in check. That shield out in front definitely played a part. A-Bar not able to find that pick onto the shield as he peeked out in lane 3 there. And then they just kind of rotated and ducked and weaved and bobbed until they found their kills. It was a great play by the Riders.
Yeah, I was surprised the amount of pre-fire coming out of one-shot kills from lane 2. I thought for sure he was going to go down a little bit sooner, maybe get shot through the bushes, but, you know, West Coast Originals just didn't really match that aggression and the defense, and they just kind of let themselves get suppressed. Meanwhile, you had that push on lane 4 that ended up in a trade, so it kind of just canceled out. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here in round 2.
I just want to touch on that we have essentially renamed West Coast Originals to the Originals. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the West Coast is implied when you've got all West Coast casters at the desk. You know, that's
true.
we're just casting from local time zone. You can't just repeat. You know, it's like saying West Coast, West Coast. You know,
We're gonna have the West Coast Invitational. It's gonna have 2 teams and 3 casters. Well,
Yeah.
4 Nightfires over here.
That's true. We'll have a 4-man casting team. The shots ringing out early. Rigo finding one in lane 2. One shot kills going down to that. Ninja Monkey looking to get a little aggressive here. He's got nades in hand, but he does get the gun up in time to trade out with Codemeister.
It's like, here, have this flash before you die. Oh, an interesting play there. Neither of these players getting Nomad. Smart to stay tucked behind this box because Slip Glippy is out in the open. He was looking right at him. He's going to confirm Ninja Monkey and Rez Codemeister. So there will be a loss. One of those downs that the Riders were able to pick up. Now Slip Glippy moving through the bushes. He's making a lot of noise. Rigo finds out Vegas.
Vegas is being a little cheeky there holding that corner. I'm surprised he didn't just react off the footsteps and pop that corner and shoot. But he didn't have to because he was already dead. Meanwhile, Slip Glippy here going down to Nomad's positioning. Codemeister not aware of where he is. Nomad could just pop. Oh, this is so risky right here. I mean, this is... how this goes could very much control who takes this round. Codemeister definitely needs to find Nomad. Is he going to be ready for this position? He's still looking for him.
Codemeister's very lucky these bushes are no longer see-through in the newest version, but it won't matter as Nomad will pop out and find Codemeister out in the open. It is a 2v1.5 as Lord Visceral down waiting for a res. The remaining two defenders on both sides of the objective. It'll be a pretty tough call to approach to cap, though. There is definitely opportunity there.
Ooh, the shots ring out. Rigo hits the deck. That physicality coming into play. We don't talk about that enough either. As those bullets start ringing over your head, it is almost instinctual to just drop to the floor, and VR gives you that opportunity. No button for that when you're playing this Onward, so he's going to have to go low and slow across this, but he does make it. If he gets into this backyard, this is a really good spot to be in. If you can effectively clear this back area, what a great way to approach the objective. Does have two defenders to worry about. Nomad does have eyes across the street. Now Stony has rotated to a more central position there. Those Hesco's really working out for the West Coast Riders defense.
Yeah, I mean, I've just noticed in general a lot of the new cover items that have been put in around some of the maps, especially some of the older maps that have had kind of, set default, if you will, positions for certain objectives. And one of them was kind of the corner over here behind the Hesco near the white car. Or not near the Hesco, but behind the Jersey barrier near the white car. And now the map's been kind of extended out a little bit on this side, and this Hesco's been added. And I think this is a good position, but what we've forgotten is Lord Visceral's also still over there in the lane 2, lane 3 area, still able to give Rigo some information. So he may have told him about some of this relocation from Nomad and Stony. Rigo now push into the backyard. He's going to pop some shots through.
Oh, what a shot.
That was a fantastic guess on that shot through the fence. Just going off sound alone, finding that last pick. And Riders riding their way into a second point, map 2.
I thought Originals were having a pretty good offensive push. They were wrapping around the defense, but man, Nomad just shredded those guys approaching from lane 1, sadly. Slippy Gippy, and I can't remember the other guy name. Just
sounds like a Teletubby show at this point.
Yeah, they just weren't quite ready for Nomad's positioning, and then lane 4. I would have liked to see Rigo go for that revive and get that teammate up. Maybe next time in the future they could prioritize a revive over a flank and then regroup and push together. But I mean, that blind shot through the fence was incredible. Good guess.
Absolutely a good guess there. And yeah, it's definitely something. Another thing we should touch on is, team revives are almost absolutely the first priority in a situation, especially attacking, unless that person is laying out in the middle of the field on downfall. Always try and make effort to go for the res, and considering he was originally on that side of the street, that would have been the move I went for as well. But either way, we're already in round 3 here, and a lot of free fire coming from the defense, but the offense is charging into the center house. Ninja Monkey going to be able to find Lord Visceral with an early pick from the driveway. One shot going to be able to pick one up inside on the top floor, and they are just unstoppable.
Look at Ninja Monkey here on this cross. Look at the bold strategy there. Codemeister shutting down that little display of...
Open one shot, gonna pick up another on Rigo.
I mean, I can't say it wasn't a solid strategy, as there was just 3 up at that time. One shot finding another. It's just down to the last, and there he goes. West Coast Riders ending that round almost before it began. Holy cow.
I don't know what to say.
Actually, one shot was impressive in that round.
I do know what to say. One shot showed up, he killed him, and that was it.
Yeah, that was
He ran
an
into-
impressive push. I mean, Ninja Monkey's just laser focus on getting to that objective. Honestly, like, it didn't make sense in the moment, but when you've got a teammate who's just 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4, you're kind of feeling it. I get it on that push. A solid approach there by the Riders. Originals definitely caught off guard on that defense. That level of aggression for an objective so tucked in, basically on the clear opposite side of this map. Fantastic. I mean, just what a round to watch. I barely caught any of it, really.
One shot came, he saw, he conquered. That was it in round 3.
Yeah, and Ninja was just grooving to the beat of one shots kills. But had that objective been that center house objective, that would have been a cap, and we'd probably been moving on to the 3rd map in the series.
Yeah, I do hope that Originals take the time to plan this last round out, because it's over after this.
And what a round to get for their clutch round. That garage objective, one of the most difficult ones to attack.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's gonna take a lot. Hopefully they'll get the West Coast Riders, who are a bit more aggressive, and push out on their defense here, and they can get some picks away from the objective to kind of help them set up. But right now, not seeing too much of that, as they're leaving 3 on near the objective. With Ninja Monkey coming out and starting things off fast. He's going to take shots from the lane 2 side, and he's going to find Codemeister as well. Or no, he's going to find Confirmation.
Yeah, no, just Codemeister. Ninja Monkey, he is on these early kills, and he's looking for a second one. Gives up on that angle. He could have found Lord Visceral there, but opts to check spawn, and Slip Glippy ready for that aggression this time around. One shot kills, however, says, "Nuh-uh, not my middle house." As A-Bar goes down, Stony nabs Lord Visceral in lane 4, and we are in a 4v2 just like that. West Coast Originals not looking so hot, but they've got the time. They've got 4 minutes. I have faith in the Originals. Let's see what they can put up here. He's got a good shot on Stony, and there it is. Takes it, knocks him out. Evening things up just a little bit. 2v3. Vegas tucked in the back. 1 shot kills in mid-house, and Nomad tucked in that little garbage can corner by the garage. Last 3 defenders remaining. Take a quick look at the overhead map so you can see what I'm talking about there. Rigo there finding 1 shot kills, and that is their biggest threat outside of Vegas so far. Knocked
Vegas
out.
is gonna have to be dealt with, because then they need to pinch and approach Nomad from a kind of a double angle. Have Rigo watching from that lane 1 angle, and Slip Glippy shooting from either center house where he's currently, or pushing even further a little bit towards that lane 1 side. And smoke gonna be coming out here from Slip Glippy.
I'm just going to call him Slip, honestly, because every time I say his name, I want to giggle.
Yeah, it's true. But that's kind of why.
He was right on top of Nomad. I like the thought process there, but Vegas hearing the smoke, reacting off it, gives them the edge here, and now it's a 1v2. Will he be ready? Man, it's getting a little finicky.
He can't see or really do anything, so he's pushing himself out to where at least he can see or do something, and he's got to be careful, because if he pushes out too far, Rigo's going to spot him. Vegas looking good. If he keeps this angle, he should be able to watch this approach and take him out just as he did his teammate. The shots ring out. Rigo goes down, and Vegas will close things out for West Coast Riders.
Such a great angle that Vegas was holding. I mean, through 2 windows, looking in that direction, no one would ever be ready for him. And it clearly they weren't, right? Because he did a buttload of work there. I mean, I gotta commend Originals. They evened it up. It was 4 against 2. They were able to knock out 2 more defenders, even it up 2-2. But unfortunately, that map knowledge that Vegas brings, I think, was able to turn the tides a bit for West Coast Riders. And that unsuccessful smoke, while I loved what was going through his mind, you always got to keep in mind that these teams are usually watching each other's backs. So you got to be careful when running through the open like that.
Yeah, and to note, Vegas really was not effective, for the larger part of that round. That was really just in that last round that he came in clutch in that final set of kills. So, that score line, I'm a little disappointed in it, because I feel like Originals definitely fought back. I mean, they had a great set of rounds there. They were fighting back every, sort of tooth and nail. for some of those points, and I feel like it could have been a lot closer than it was. But a solid set by the Riders will take them up, and they will take the series with those 2 maps. But don't get out of your chair. Don't do it. I'm not allowing it. You got to stay, because map 3 is still happening. MMR, that, as I like to call it, the MMR juice is still flowing. There is the possibility for the Originals to take a 3rd map, lessen the blow a little bit of the MMR that they could lose here in this match. And I'm excited to see this 3rd map. So if you've got guesses, throw them into the old chat. Let us know what you think map 3 is going to be. May have heard a little bit of the sound there. No cheating off the sound in my headphones that you're hearing. But we'll give you just a couple of seconds. And if you guessed that map 3 was Bazaar, ding, 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 you win fake points. You can redeem them for fake prizes. We are going into map 3 quickly.
You can buy real fake doors.
You buy real fake pretty much anything with those points, as the teams are loaded in and getting ready to go here.
Hey, so don't kill me this time, man.
All right. Round 1 underway. The teams want to get going. They want to get killing. They want to get scoring points, and we are ready for them to do so. 5 minutes on the clock. Round 1 kicking off. Bazaar. West Coast Riders on the defense. West Coast Originals on the offense.
Some early shots out on the east side. Lord Visceral going to be leading the push up on the east. Ninja Monkey was out looking that east push, but doesn't appear to have engaged. But there's the engagement. He and Codemeister will trade out.
Clean trade.
You can say that again, Wookie.
Yeah, that is a full 1-for-1. Now there's some engagement here on the west. Slip having to deal with 1 shot. Did manage to pick him up in that center mansion, whatever you want to call that, call out in Suburbia. Did manage to scoop him up with a little headshot through the window. We'll see if he can do it again to try to get his team across here on the western side. He's tucked into that window pretty nicely, though. 1 shot's definitely got himself in a spot, but no, not quite enough, as Slip does find the kill. He will need to find the confirm, as the res is still available.
He's across the street from the Bazaar.
Now Abar able to use that information, get himself across on the western side, and now we've got, I mean, let's take a look at the overhead map here just real fast. They are doing a really good job of starting to encircle this objective. I mean, they lost that sort of middle spot. Not quite a circle, more like a hammer and anvil type approach. But Lord Visceral nabs himself a pick on Stoney, and a cheeky little peek behind those sandbags will have El Vegas going down.
That was beautiful.
And I was just about to say, if he doesn't get Vegas, this is all going to be for naught. And there it is. The pick comes out on the objective side, and West Coast Originals take the round here on Bazaar.
Bravo to Originals. I was really concerned that they weren't going to see El Vegas's position over there, but they were clearly keeping tabs on him, taking out one of those defenders behind Kia and then rotating to get Vegas to clean that up. I mean, that was exactly what I love to see from these new teams, like the coordination, the working together of pushing a rather difficult objective. Because, I mean, again, you know, West Coast Originals, this is their 3rd game in the league. So they have, the odds are against them here, and I thought that they handled this round 1 beautifully.
Yeah, well, I mean, that goes to speak on what Noman was saying at the end of map 1 or map 2, which was that even though these score lines have been kind of like broad and spread out for West Coast Riders so far, that's not the way these maps have been played. The West Coast Originals team has been playing fantastically in comparison to their opponents. Just things are tilting the way of West Coast Riders right now. There's really all that you can say about it. Sure, there are a few rounds where West Coast Riders have had a very dominant hand in their win, but overall, I've seen a very close game tonight, and I'm super satisfied with this matchup.
Amen.
Oh, they're West Coast Originals there identifying that they cannot use C4. A loadout unfortunately selected there by one of the members of the Originals, but opting to not use it. Good choice.
Yeah, Glippy seems like he just had a little bit of a brain fart there. He's got to be careful. He's got Ninja Monkey looking at this objective area already. The frag's out. Or no, flash is out.
Yeah. He is pushing, though. He loves this
got
aggression.
some-
I feel like I've been saying Ninja Monkey's name quite a bit.
But I mean, look.
Ooh.
In this context, though, it's because he goes down as that pick coming in. A-Bar finding a pick onto Stoney as well in the eastern side of the map there as he got across the blue room, but not quite inside blue room, and now the pressure coming in from the West Coast Originals defense. This map looking quite good for the Originals comeback in map 3.
Yeah, Vegas now on the creep. As he slides up, he could find Glippy here. Not one-shot kills. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have to turn the oof dial up to big here because West Coast Riders not doing so hot against the Originals on this map, and Vegas gonna find Glippy as he slides out.
Ooh, he's got a line on 2 maybe here as he's got Codemeister dialed in. I wonder if Codemeister's hearing these sounds. He's not, apparently, as Vegas nabs a second and things are starting to even out. Sleepy, the caster curse coming out.
Gasp. There's no such thing as a caster's curse. We all know that, but we all wonder if Nomad or Vegas, either one of these folks are going to go back for one-shot kills, or maybe if he's just said, leave me, I'll just call out. It is a 2v2 or 2.5 scenario, so not unlikely for them to go ahead and leave him, but if Vegas were to double back, he's also likely to get shot. So unlikely for them to go back. Nomad here, opportunity to get a cap under the noses of the defense, and El Vegas's pick onto Lord Visceral is definitely going to help. That actually opens the objective wide up as A-Bar is not even close. He's watching from off the side, and Nomad's here. He's got tablet out. He's rushed up. He's inside. He's typing in the code. A-Bar is not reacting. This is going to be another reason why you got to always make sure you're on the objective as the last man, as A-Bar gets that cap, and West Coast Riders go up 2-1 on the map.
Nice cap from West Coast Riders. I mean, yet again, we see one-shot kills with that distracting covering fire. That really allowed El Vegas to just creep up like a sneaky snake right up the middle market there along the west side, and a lot of the Originals just weren't prepared for El Vegas just being a snake in that moment. Taking a few kills, maybe 3, was it 2 or 3 kills? I don't know. He did work that round though, and I think that was really because one-shot kills was so busy distracting West Coast Originals.
Yeah, I think Vegas did end up snagging 2 in that round.
Well, that was the response that the Riders wanted. I'm sure the Rider camp is happy about that one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that the West Coast Originals are going to be down and out there. You know, so far they've not given up after having some pretty upsetting score lines open up on them in the earlier maps. So I can assume they're only going to try and go for another cap. The shots come out early once again as the Originals try their best to get their way down to that south of the objective. And then Glippy going to be the one putting down the suppression for the Bazaar.
Shots ringing out across the board. I mean, it really is giving time for these members of the offense pushing across on the West Road, and they're going to do this without any smoke coverage whatsoever, literally just distracting fire coming out. The only thing covering them, a trade coming out between A-Bar, Vegas, and Nomad there.
Yeah, he got 2 there. A-Bar picking up 2 there from the defense. And that's going to be returned. Of course, Codemeister going to grab Ninja Monkey, who's been doing the damage in these last couple maps for West Coast Riders. Lord Visceral getting very close to this objective. He almost spots one shot in the window in the objective building. Stoney also rotating back. This could be bad. This could be a pick. Possibly a double lineup. And there's the shot for one shot. Able to get the connection. Lord Visceral goes down.
I'm alive.
Just the 2 remaining members of West Coast Originals up, Codemeister and Rigo.
Yeah, nice little push there, but a bit disjointed. You want that pressure coming in from all sides when you're on offense, and I think Codemeister would have been a great option there for sending a few rounds down towards the objective. If you're going to push it from one side, a couple of bullets raining down from a different side can do, you know, wonders. They can do magic in terms of keeping the defenders off their rhythm, off their game. But it's an even set here. We've got a 2-2
Ooh, Codemeister's position is good to be able to pick Stony if Stony keeps moving around on the BJ, but they still just refuse to watch west until someone gets close to the building, because Rigo's just walked across that street pretty much unopposed without smoke, just like his teammates before him. Now one shot's looking at it though. He was.
Yeah, syncing up here now. Rigo's in a good spot to draw out the defense. If he could just get them into a position. Oh, he's not going to have time to do that. One shot IDing that cross. That's going to leave a 1v2.
He looked away at just the wrong second. Just that normal kind of competitive online, you know.
Yeah, it's that FPS timing. That's what it is.
Exactly.
FPS timing all day. You go to reload, and every single member of the enemy team is looking right at you, right when you go for that look somewhere else. Yeah, you know, sometimes you can't help it. A lot of these, you know, trades and kills do come down to just timing. Just timing a certain thing a certain way, or just a player checking a tablet. You know, doing the thing they should be doing, which is checking on, you know, how many people are left and how much time is left. And to get punished like that is, you know, it's the name of the game. We're going to follow along here with Codemeister as he gnaws on the final 2 minutes of this round and tries to get his team an equalizing point here. I mean, it's not insurmountable. 1v2 with 2 minutes left.
And he's changed the approach. Now, I'm sure West Coast Riders have probably picked up on the fact that he's changing locations, because they haven't heard any more shots or anything coming from any of the previous locations. But this angle, if he uses it right, he can actually get some decent cover and take them out from without even approaching the objective if they react the right way, which I'm sure they will react and try and approach and get the pick. If their kill count's right, they know he's the last guy. They could get a little overzealous. But Codemeister definitely taking his time. He's not rushing. He's got a minute left, so he's definitely not short on it, but he needs to step things up just a bit, maybe at least until he gets on this corner, and then he's got a little bit more breathing room.
We'll have to fire those shots in quick succession, but we see the laser sweeping on this corner. This could spell doom for this round for the West Coast Originals. But no, the defense giving up on that corner. That timing we just talked about.
Yep, FPS timing coming to play again, but here comes the grenade. Flashes out, it appears. No,
it's a frag.
Grenade itself.
Yeah, it's a frag. He is rushing based off that noise. He's got 30 seconds. That watch is beeped. Here in these rotations, this is where the defense starts to get antsy. He could find one, maybe two. 20 seconds left. Finds one.
He finds Stony.
Oh, he went for the tablet. An unfortunate choice there. He had gun in hand and snapped on one shot. Could have been the equalizing point, but a nice defense there holding on for the Riders, and they march to a 3-1 lead here in the final map.
Man, Rigo and Codemeister just, you know, doing work for West Coast Originals, but yeah, unfortunate decision there to go for the tablet after that kill. I get it. He had a plan in his mind. He would take out one defender, but I think that their kill count was maybe a little off or something. Not sure what happened there, but yeah, that, you know, unfortunate to see that Northwest push just kind of collapse on itself while the West Coast Riders, you know, just did such a fabulous job defending that objective.
It did indeed, and we're not wasting any time as we get into the fourth round.
I know, these guys are not giving me any time to analyze. You know,
Yeah.
they just dive right into it.
The penultimate round potentially for the Riders as they look to cinch up 3 maps against the Originals, who need to hang on with at least one more point to stay alive in the series.
Yeah, this is the one most people would think is more of a gimme, right? It's defense. You should, if you play it safe enough, be able to lock it down, but that's not looking to be the case, as El Vegas is already deep inside enemy territory, right on top of the objective.
This is that This is that thing that teams do, and I've been guilty of it myself. You know, in your head, you're making the monologue of, there's no way they're going to just push the middle. You know, we don't have to watch the middle. What are you, crazy? And then, you know, of course, that's the one time somebody pushes Ninja Monkey on the pressure. Vegas pushing in, does find the pick, but not quick enough around that wall as Visceral shuts that down. Ninja Monkey looking for the pick through the window, doesn't find it, but now they're on objective. They're going to have to start panicking. The rotations will have to come in. A-Bar finding one-shot kills. With a down there on the east, but it's not quite enough. Visceral does spot out Ninja Monkey as he fumbles with his vest. And that's a shutdown on that cap attempt. A nice little nade toss there, finding Stony, and the pick by Flip at the end will lock things up, and Originals hang on in map 3.
For a second there, it was very nice. I for a second there, I was worried they let Vegas walk right up the middle, like you said, Noman, and they were able to shut it down. Lord Visceral in that key position to see not just one, but 2 attackers going in for the cap, and he was able to lay them out pretty quickly. And it's just great to see the West Coast Originals are hanging in there.
Yeah, apologies on that replay there, and it didn't quite save the way I wanted to. You know, fat finger in the buttons and all. But I did want to highlight that was a fantastic little nade toss and then swing around to find 2 in the west to seal that up. It was a great play. And that's the kind of stuff we have been seeing from the Originals. I mean, they have been doing, you know, really great plays. Again, A-Bar, Lord Visceral doing solid work for their team. Really the whole team coming alive in little bits and pieces. They've just got to find a way to sync each one of those individual players up. You know, that's what it is. You got to make them do those cool things, but all at the same time.
I thought I was going to have to yell at Vegas there for capping to get 5-point victory for the West Coast Riders there as he hit that objective. But yeah, I mean, Visceral's pick. They're hanging on though. I think this is such a great matchup. I think these 2 teams are going to start to really develop here as they both put in more time and spend more time in the league and going up against tougher opponents and, you know, learning from some of their mistakes and their successes. This has been a really, really exciting game, especially for 2 teams that we really have no data on. You know, I don't recognize them as players. You know, obviously I'm a little more dated in my playership versus some of the newer cats out there playing. But yeah, I mean, so it's been really great to see how these new teams, how these new players are handling, and how they're handling this new meta without the smokes and without the C4s, or without the C4s, I should say, because it's been very interesting, and I think they're adapting to those tactics quite well. You know, Nightfire and I have talked about it a few times. The suppressive fire has become so much more of a thing in recent days because of the no use of smoke unless agreed upon thing. But anyways, we're into the next round. West Coast Originals going to be looking to get another point or 2. They get the quick spawn here on the East Objective Courtyard, and they are off to the races. Lord Visceral, as has been the case for most rounds, they've just been pushing it straight in. They're going hard in the paint for the objective.
Yeah, this aggression, I love to see it. Get him caught off guard, get that defense moving, don't let him stick in spots. Ninja Monkey does manage to nab one aggressor as he finds one, and Nomad one-shot kills, teaming up to knock out A-Bar. Ninja Monkey going down a little too confident after his first pick. That's call-outs for his team that he's going to be able to do.
Oh, pretty close. Nomad going down on the corner, and Visceral finally able to take down Monkey. Stony almost rotating out in time to catch Rigo's rotation here. Oh, now caught up. Stony gonna take some shots. Rigo gonna come around the corner firing, and he's gonna find Stony. It's helping to clean up the objective. It's a 2.5v2. West Coast Originals looking to still clean up this round, and you know, really not so bad of an approach. He's got just the kind of 2 north guys, the res going out there in the north, Lord Visceral approaching. They got to take down Vegas though if they want to go for this cap.
Ooh, wait there. Oh. He's got pad. Vegas isn't popping this corner. He's not looking for it. He might get right into his view, though. He's looking for the cap. Vegas is going to spot this out. He does. The shots ring out. And he's going to find 2 and seal it up for the Riders in the end. But a fantastic effort by the Originals there at the end. Oh, you hate to see it happen.
That was a beautiful push.
Yeah, and you got to give it to them. They've gone for that cap as many times as it's presented itself to them. Like, if they see that there's an opening and they don't immediately see a defender, they're like, I'm going for it. So I commend them on that for anything. But anyways, Wookie, go ahead and give us a final analysis there on that last map.
You know, I gotta commend the West Coast Originals because they are coming into the league during a rather tumultuous period, right? There's no smokes, there's no C4s, there's so many awkward rules around the game at the moment, and they're doing really quite well, I think, adapting to this current system that we have in place. I mean, they're using the covering fire because they don't have smokes. They're working together to try and do call outs, and they're going for the caps, and you know they'll learn eventually that you know you got to do a little bit more scanning, checking more corners before you go for those caps, because they're learning those lines that those defenders are holding. But all in all, like, great performance from West Coast Originals. Congrats to West Coast Striders for bringing it home.
Yeah, it was a great matchup. We do appreciate those teams accommodating us picking up that cast so quickly. It was a last-minute thing, but we were hungry. We wanted some good onward action, and we found it in those two teams. Yeah, absolutely congratulations to the Riders for a well-played game. Originals, keep at it. I mean, you guys have what it takes. There is some really good play there that you guys had in those rounds. Do not, you know, you took it on the chin, and you'll be fine. Next round, you'll get them. So, thank you guys for tuning in for Friday Night Fights Round 2 with myself, Sleepy with 2 3s, and Mr. Wookie here. I do want to, again, thank our sponsors, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Cyber Shoes, B-Haptics, and Fixed Gaming. I want to thank everybody who came in to the Twitch chat to hang out with us, showing your support and your love for these two new teams, and we'll be keeping our eye on them and a lot of teams, not just today, but, you know, forever, for the rest of the season at the very least. Hopefully you'll be tuning in with us throughout the weekend. We've got all kinds of matchups ready for you guys. I believe tomorrow there's one at 6 Pacific between OJC and Kai on Master League 3 with Mono and Snooper, so tune into that. And on Sunday we've got a fantastic venues highlight cast between Dead Logic and Boss Fight that should be a really awesome match to watch. As well as another one with Cataclysm and WCO, who you see here today, later on that same afternoon. So, keep your eyes peeled on the Discords. If you haven't joined it, please go do that. Otherwise, check out vrmasterleague.com/onward for any and all information about how you can get involved in this fantastic league and get some games under your belt. So, with that, I am going to sign us off. I am Noman with a 4. I was joined by Mr. Sleepy with 2 3s. And Wookie on the analyst desk. And from us, have a great Friday night.